Welcome to Ivanoff Retirement Insights with Paul and Travis Ivanoff. The father and son team at Ivanoff Advisors and Ivanoff Wealth Management helps clients grow and protect their wealth. Paul and Travis understand the importance of having tax-advantaged, reliable income in retirement, protecting your assets, and helping you achieve your retirement dreams. Now, Ivanoff Retirement Insights.
Welcome to another episode of the Ivanoff Retirement Insights podcast. My name is Casey, and I am here with my buddies, Paul Ivanoff, insurance agent with Ivanoff Advisors, and his son, Travis Ivanoff, investment advisor representative with Ivanoff Wealth Management. And they are here to break down some of the biggest retirement headlines from the week for us. All right, how much would it take for you to live comfortably? That's a little bit of a loaded question, I know. When Schwab asked 2,000 people that question, the answer was a net worth of about $840,000. And they also found this: 8 in 10 Americans feel wealthy when it comes to the quality of their relationships, their happiness, and their free time. So, guys, I wanted to get your take on this. When you're talking with your clients about retirement, is it more about making money or making memories for them?
Well, Casey, in the end, income is the outcome that matters. You know, when you ask, people, they're making $700,000-800,000. It all depends where you're living. You know, we're not living in Iowa here. We're in California. It's going to run a little more.
Right.
And it all depends on that. So income is the outcome. And when we show our clients how, for the most part, once we put together our Ivanoff Advisor roadmap, when we put it all together, a lot of them, they can actually retire. They don't have any problems. They can retire confidently and comfortably. And that's what we try to accomplish when they meet with us.
Yeah, I would add on to that. I mean, I feel like that's a great question. And a lot of people get lost in those numbers. But at the end of the day, what is your goal? What are those dollars going to give you the power to do? And Paul talks about it all the time in our office, and I do as well at the seminars, is memories seem to be the most important thing for clients, right? If you are constantly worried about a dollar and not being able to actually live your retirement, why did you retire in the first place? You might as well just keep working, right? So I think it's less about a number and more about building out a retirement roadmap that allows you to have the income you need to make the memories you want to do, right? And memories is such a wide net. Whatever that memory could be. I mean, spending time with grandkids or, you know, all those trips that you and your spouse or your friends talked about going, you never got to go on. That's really what you're trying to save for. That's what you're trying to plan for. It's not so much like you're not sitting around the coffee table with your friends and say, hey, I have more money than you. I have $1 million. You got $2 million. You got $3 million. It's more so, hey, I'm thinking about going on this cruise. Do you and your spouse, or do you want to join us? Or me and my wife took the kids to Legoland. That's what my dad did with all my siblings and the grandkids as well. So I think when you really break it down, you really just need a good roadmap to show you what kind of income and retirement you can live based off what you generated. And I think I talked about in the last show, I've had several people come to our seminars, and I touch on this topic. I do talk about, hey, if you have a number stuck in your head, whether it be $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, whatever that number is it necessary? How much do you make a year right now? How much do you actually take home? If we could get close to that number without hitting the pie in the sky number in your head, would you actually retire? Because at the end of the day, Paul and I have tools that most people don't have. We have the ability to plan using our Ivanoff Retirement Roadmap. And I wouldn't get stuck on a number. I'd more so see what kind of income we need to generate. That way you have the money to make it last, but also to make the memories you want to do. And you're not stuck working your whole life. You might retire at age 70 and then all of a sudden you're unhealthy and you never get to use it. So you might be able to retire sooner than you think if you sit down with us and get busy making memories instead of saving money.
Yeah, I think a net worth number on its own means very little if it doesn't provide you the freedom to do what you want to do and what you'd love to do. And Paul and Travis and the team don't just want to help you hit that number. They want to help you build a plan that's going to allow you to spend your time and your energy on what truly matters to you. So if you're ready to build that plan that's going to align your money with your goals, take the next step. Give us a call at 714-452-1955. We're going to get you on the calendar for an Ivanoff Retirement Roadmap. This is an introductory conversation. There's no obligation attached to it, but spots are limited and they will fill up. So give us a call. That number again, 714-452-1955. And our lines are open right now. We're ready to get you on the calendar. Or, of course, if online is better for you, you can always find us at ivanoffinsights.com. KEIB-AM.com. All right. If you are someone who does not think financial fees make a difference in your retirement plan, then I need you to pay attention. I need you to listen to this. The Department of Labor says that just a 1% fee can lower your retirement savings by 28% over 35 years. So let's break this down with some real numbers and think of it this way. You've got $1 million in your 401k. You lose 25% of it to taxes. You lose over 25% of it to fees. You get to enjoy $500,000 of your million, half of the money that you save. So, guys, talk to us about this. Are people aware of this, and what can we do about it?
Well, actually, Casey, people are not aware of it. When we do our seminars, every time we do a seminar, we let people know the real cost of hidden fees. For example, if you were to take, I know this is going to sound shocking, but if you were to take the time and accumulate $500,000 over a 30-year period, you would have paid between $500,000 and almost $1 million in fees. You would have paid more money in fees than what's actually in your account. Wow. And I've myself, Travis, we've made a living just from the get-go, just letting people know about the hidden fees. Mm-hmm. And we do so because we're independent, so we can do it. If I worked elsewhere, they'd probably terminate me for telling people too much. But at any rate, so yeah, if you can eliminate the fees or reduce them quite a bit, not only are you going to have more for retirement, but my God, you might have found money for long-term care and other things that you didn't know that you could actually afford.
I think 1%, you'd be lucky to find that these days with a lot of the portfolios that we review. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of hidden fees that aren't really being talked about. And oftentimes I'll look at a client's statement that they bring in, and I'll start looking through it. And I just start looking up the mutual funds they own on the spot. And I just pull it right there on Morningstar, and I look at it, or Y charts we have as well, and we go, hey, this mutual fund, it looks like there was a front-end commission of 5% on this, and the expense ratio that you're paying is 1% as well, and that's on top of your advisory fee. So a lot of times when you start doing the digging, there's a lot more fees than just the 1%, mm-hmm. right? And none of us work for free. You have to make a living, but there's a difference between gouging and doing the right thing. And what we are always looking to do is to keep our fees as lean as possible when we're building out portfolios. And some clients are more fee sensitive than others. And if that's the case, then we have different strategies we're going to use to keep the fees even lower. It is important. And I think a lot of people just assume, I'm just paying the 1% or 1.5%. I've heard of people paying 1.75 just for their advisory fee that come in for a second opinion in our office, not realizing the expense ratios or the variable annuity fees or the commissions that are charged. So, you definitely need to take a deeper look at it. And that's what we do in our office all the time. We will do a portfolio x-ray to figure out what your fees are, what you're paying, and can you do it leaner? Can you put more money back in your pocket versus your advisors? Those are the conversations we have in our appointments all the time with our clients.
Yeah, Casey, more often than not, people don't have a clue what their fees are. And we talk about a lot at our seminars. For example, if you have an advisor, bank, brokerage firm, I encourage you, call them. Or if you're thinking of going to a bank, just say, hey, what is your fee? And it's surprising what the answer is. A lot of times the advisor will say, well, it's only 0.5% or 1% or 1.5%. And most people think that is the answer. That's not the answer. You need to know the all-in fee. That's generally the advisor fee only. Then you have the technology fee, you have the expense ratio fee, and all these other fees tacked on. And country average is 2 to 2.5%, according to Kiplinger's, is what people are paying in fees. And our fees are much lower than that. So it's good to know. It's good to know what you're paying.
And I would just add, you want to make sure when you're looking at your returns, are those after fees or before fees? Mm-hmm. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at your returns, is what are the if you're paying those fees on top of that, is it hurting your return there? So anyhow, this is something we look at in our portfolios all the time, and we're very transparent when it comes to the fee conversation. We want to make sure everyone understands what they're getting and what they're paying for.
Well, yeah, what you guys were saying got me thinking, because I feel like we probably have some listeners right now who are like, oh, no, I don't even remember the last time I took a look at my plan or took a look at what kind of fees I'm paying. So how often should somebody be reviewing their plan and reviewing these fees? And what's the best way for them to even start that conversation with their advisor? Because it can be uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. A lot of advisors, if you say to them, what are your fees? More often than not, they're going to give a low number, but that's only the advisor fee. You've got to know the all-in fee. And we've actually had clients where we say, hey, ask your other advisor what the fees are. And generally what happens is they'll ask the advisor, and the advisor will say, I'll have to get back to you on that, or we'll discuss it on our next meeting. Mm-hmm. It only takes a few seconds. Everybody knows what their fees are. They want to evade the question.
So I would say you can talk to your advisor about your fees, but if you feel like there's more to the story, that's what we're here for. Come and get a second opinion in our office. We'll do a portfolio x-ray. We'll rip apart the fees and see if we can't save you some money. I've had several clients come into our office that are in love with their advisor. It's a longtime family friend. They've known him forever, and they're getting the friend deal or whatever that might be. And then when I start looking at their portfolio, I'm going, hey, you're paying 1.6% a year, and you got $3-4 million. And then you got these variable annuities in here that are over 3.5%. Are you aware of what you're paying on this? She's like, no, I guess I just always kind of assumed that they were taking care of me. And I just show the Morning Stars. We run everything, which is a third-party software. We plug everything in, and it's right there. We'll show the fees, and then we'll do a side-by-side comparison. Hey, we can accomplish the same things you're doing, but we can lean out your fees so you take more of that, and maybe you retire sooner because you're saving in fees, or maybe you're leaving more money to beneficiaries. But it's a conversation we are accustomed to having, and we like helping clients really see what their total cost is. So if it sounds like it's time for you to review your fees, you should come in and see us and take us up on our no obligation second opinion appointment there. Our phone number is 714-452-1955. We have 5 spots available that we've opened up. Look, the person that gave you the first opinion cannot give you a second. So come sit down with us, have a cup of coffee. We're not high pressure. We love to sit there and chat and get to know you. So hope to see you soon.
That's a great point, Travis. I want you to take advantage of this opportunity. It is exclusive to our radio listeners and not something that the guys do every day. So jump on this while we still have some spots available. 714-452-1955 is how you do it. Ashley and Amber are at the office standing by to take your call. 714-452-1955 is that number for you again. Or you can always connect with us online at ivanoffinsights.com. That's going to do it for us on this episode of the Ivanoff Retirement Insights podcast. We'll be back next week with more great insight from Paul and Travis Ivanoff of Ivanoff Advisors and Ivanoff Wealth Management. We'll see you soon.
Investment advisory services offered through Ivanoff Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor firm. Registration is not an endorsement by security regulators. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities offered through Travis Ivanoff, California CRD number 325275. The firms are separate entities. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company and are not offered by Ivanoff Wealth Management Incorporated. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Ivanoff Wealth Management is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Ivanoff Wealth Management is licensed in your state, please call 714-553-1490. Ivanoff Advisors is not affiliated with Ivanoff Wealth Management Incorporated. Advisory services are offered by Travis Ivanoff through Ivanoff Wealth Management. Insurance services are offered by Paul Ivanoff through Ivanoff Advisors. The aforementioned are unaffiliated companies.
All content is for information purposes only. It is not intended to provide any tax or legal advice or provide the basis for any financial decisions, nor is it intended to be a projection of current or future performance or indication or future results.